thing is, I have to be mindful. There we go. I'm going to have to be mindful in the next meeting because when I already talk fast, like, I mean, as you guys know, by the way, it's been commented on since kindergarten. Like, I just talk fast. But when I get like excited or elevated, especially if I'm with my sister, people are like, you guys sound like two helicopters taking off. So I'm just like, I have to be mindful about it. But I want you guys to know champions aren't surprised when they win. And why is that? Because they just do the work. And here's the crazy thing. I just wanted to share a few minutes this morning about confidence. And the reason that work matters with confidence is that I believe that in life, if you visualized almost this table of abundance, right? Most of us don't even approach the table of abundance if we feel like a fraud. Like if we know that we haven't done the work, it'd be like if you were like a white belt walking into a room of black belt martial artists, right? They'll be kind to you, they'll be loving and stuff, but you know that you don't belong. Not because you don't belong as a human, but because you don't belong as you haven't done the work to be amongst that level or that vibe. And so this is why the work matters, because it is inseparably connected um to our confidence, right? So our lovely Nathan Goldberg, lovely as he is, sends me a text, and trust me, I love this. I was an athlete. I'm a girl who does very well when people coach, and I do better, which is why maybe some of you will notice I'll love on you hard when I can, because I had great coaching was when they would tell you everything you contribute, everything you are, everything they see in you, and why you're an amazing, part of the team and contribution. And then they'd say, hey, and to get you next level, here are some things we can work on. Right? Here are some things we can work on. And I lived for it because that is delivered in that way. But I also loved it when someone, he would pull me aside and be like, what's going on? Right? He said, and because I don't care about the result, I care about the effort. You're not even trying. What's happening? So this is the thing about the work, is it increases your confidence. But this week, Nathan sent me a text and he's like, hey, just letting you know, you've dropped below so and so and so. I'm just, being a great coach. And he's right. And he goes, because like, how many people have you blood tested in the last 3 weeks? And I was like, nobody. No, no, I've been working. I've been doing Zooms and meetings, but I've blood tested nobody in the next 3 weeks. And here's what you need to know is I wasn't mad. I'm not mad. That's actual facts. Like I can't say that I want something and then not be prepared to do the thing that I know is the thing that would make that happen. Right. So that becomes it's hard to have the confidence you're looking for when you live in incongruence between what you know and what you say you want, and then the gap between those two. And so that's where the alignment comes in. And you guys have heard me say this before. We either need to change the things that we say we want, or double down on the things to get it. There's no other choice. Right. And when I'm not doubling down, I can smile and be grateful. But here's the thing that I've learned that has taken me a long time to learn. There's a lot of self-compassion in that. I don't make excuses for myself, but there's a lot. I've learned some self-compassion where you're like, not all times in life are equal. The last 4 weeks, particularly 5 weeks of my life, it's not normal. It's not normal. Like it's just that there's time ebbs and flows, but I can do the work. And this is why. One thing I want you guys to write down: confidence is contagious, but so is a lack of confidence with yourself, with your team, with people that you're talking to, right? Confidence is contagious, but so is a lack of confidence. So I want to share with you guys just really quickly. I can't dive into all of them, but it's something for you guys to chew on and think about, where there are like some things about confidence that you can build. How many of you um, find confidence in someone as appealing as I do? And I'll tell you something, I think I've thought about this so much. I've thought about what's the fine line between confidence and arrogance, because I find confidence incredibly sexy in anyone. I find arrogance repulsive. right? So you're always like, wow, what's like, where's the fine line in between those two? And I've learned a few things, but one of them for me anyways is humility. I think that where you tout your source becomes a big difference between the confidence and the arrogant side. And so humility is a big thing where no matter what, you just believe that I'm going to get good at this because I believe that it's a gift that I've been given, and we're not given our gifts to keep them. We're given our gifts to give them. And so if I can have these gifts, work on these gifts, cultivate, curate, create all the things I know that are best, that I can get confident in it, then it's, and if it's to serve the greatest good for the greatest many, then that confidence can shine, right? Because I know that it's meant for everyone else. But so I know that we all love confidence. When someone speaks where you're like, I think that Chastity and Barry, when we got off the call for the very first time we ever met Orion, you guys remember what I said? I'm like, his confidence is contagious. And it's not a confidence that comes from hype or a hope. It's confidence that comes from knowing, similar to the tests that we do. Why it matters there's between a hope and a knowing. There was a confidence that he spoke with that he had done it. And so this is what matters too, if you guys are taking notes. If you lack confidence, build evidence. Okay. If you lack confidence, build evidence. The reason that Orion could speak with us with such confidence is because he had a sea of evidence and data that what they said they were going to do, they were doing, right? So now it's, when he's talking to us, it's not to convince, it's simply to share and let it land with us. And that's what you guys are doing with this, and what we're doing in general when you talk to people. If you believe or hold the energy that you're in the trying to convince them of something, and you feel like you got to be extra hypey because you lack the confidence, that's when you have to back up and go, no, I just need to have a knowing. And you guys, you don't need to know what Orion knows. You don't need to know the data of their public trading things. You don't need to know anything other than you knew enough that and you can share why you got started, what you're excited about, why are you a Zinzino? And here's what my invitation to you. If you don't know that, if that's not even clear to you, that's your homework. That's your homework. Get clear to yourself. Why am I here? Why did I choose Enzito? What am I excited about? Because those are, I'm telling you, those are the only things you need to get good at sharing, because people want to know that why you're like what you're doing here. But if you go, well, it's kind of a side gig, really. I mean, it's just something I deal with. You guys, that can be a fine answer, and we think it's cool to play like that. But if you're following someone and someone's like, oh yeah, it's kind of a side gig, I just hop on Saturday mornings, I love the people, and that's fine. Now, hey, you can say that, but in a totally confident way. Hey, I'm brand new. I don't even really know what I'm doing on the product side yet, but I know that I want to be here, and the people that I'm with are the best people I've ever met. They've been successful in business, but more importantly, they're successful in life. This community that I'm a part of is something that I don't think I ever want to go be without. And so I'm there every Saturday morning. That's a different answer, right, than being wishy-washy with things. So because you love it in people, it's something that you can curate in yourself. It all starts with self-belief. So these are the two things that I want to share with you this morning. There's two separate things. One is confidence and one is self-belief. But the two of them are actually intertwined, because you can't ever have the level of confidence that you want to have or show up as if your own self-belief doesn't believe you can get there. So more important than being at the level, none of us are at the level we want, by the way, never. Like part of life is expansion. Part of life is progression. It's next level. It's part of happiness, actually. The only other synonym to happiness is progress, right? That I'm moving forward. And so you'll never rest. So there's always somewhere to go. But you guys, in order to get the level of confidence that you want, you have to believe that you can, that you can. And this is why we say that you can't say, we always say, if you say you can or you say you can't, you're right. But here's what matters. When you say you can't, it doesn't mean that you can't. It just means that you won't. If you don't believe you can, you won't even try. right? So it matters that your self-belief goes, I can do this. And this is why people share testimonials and you get on with calls and see someone else, or why if you're a nurse, I want you to meet a nurse. There's power in association. We want you to be on these calls so you can see someone else where, not in a bad way, but you look at them and go, okay, well, if that guy's winning here, I'm going to be a billionaire. Like something I'm looking at Carol. Carol, that's like the very first time when I started with WFG way back when, and I'm at the first big meeting, excited to be there. And the guys that are on stage that are leaders were like a boiler maker and a welder, and they kind of look like the guys that have never owned a suit, and they're up there and they're lovely, but I'm like, okay, I'm gonna win here. And so it's not a bad thing if whatever motivates you, but you have to have this self belief, the self belief that you were made for more, that you deserve more, that the world needs you to be more, right? I want to be careful with this. I don't think that you need to be more than you are. I do believe that you need to be all that you are. And for most of us, like I know, that means more. Okay, so you don't need to be more than you are, but you do need to be all that you are, and all that you are is usually a lot more than what we're putting out there. And so the confidence. So what I'm going to say is this: do you want to know why someone gets confident is a confident inviter? Because they've done it, because they've built evidence that they say that confidence comes from. I keep my word to myself. I said I would contact 5 or 10 people this week, so I did. That's where the confidence comes from. By the way, it's irrelevant of the result of what comes from that. That's just a natural law of averages, right? But the confidence comes from, I do what I said I was going to do. I do the work. I did belong at this table of abundance. So the confidence and self belief are intertwined, but they're all formed, curated, and continually cultivated by action, right? That you do the thing. I think there's a saying out there called just do it. I heard that somewhere. So this is, and Chastity posted something, months ago that, said, thinking about the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about the thing isn't doing the thing. Chatting chat GPT about the thing isn't doing the thing. It was like a whole list of 20 things about the thing isn't doing the thing. Like eventually you gotta do the thing. I can't read one more book on the theory of piano without getting, fingers on keys. And so eventually we have to do this, but I'm telling you, whether you love it or not, that is the key to confidence in anything, is people that just do the thing. And by the way, all the learning comes from that. I want you guys to win so bad. I'm going to hand this over to Chastity to do a bit of training. Confidence is not something that you just are born with. If you believe that when you watch people on stage that they're just more confident than you, that's what I'm telling you about your own self-belief. It's sabotaging you. They weren't born with more. Do people look differently, built differently, aesthetically, physiologically? Sure. But for you to believe that the universe somehow wants more abundance for someone else than you, or that somehow more, that they were gifted, that is not a thought that is serving you. It is not a thought that is going to propel you forward. And it's not a thought that's like gonna help anyone. I know that, and I'm going to share this today. I've been thinking about this a lot, you guys. Not only do we have an opportunity here, but it's a responsibility. There's an opportunity and a responsibility. When I was looking at that slide about what I wanted to say on the overview today, because, you guys, I'm always like, oh, that sucked. By the way, I don't have the best self-talk voice either, but I've learned to, I'm also a great fan of myself, but I'm my self-talk sometimes. I'm like, oh, that sucked. You could have done that so much better. What would I say if I did it better? What would doing it better look like? And then I play scenarios in my head. And one of the slides that we have is a slide of like the trend. It's a circle of, they've tested 1.5% of the world here, and they're trying to get to 2.5. And I thought, not only is that a slide of opportunity, it should reek of opportunity, but it reeks of responsibility. And I don't know about you guys, but I tend to work harder if I believe that someone's counting on me, right? If I believe that my actions affect someone else. But I'm here to tell you guys, you are fooling yourselves and lying to yourselves if you believe that it doesn't. Your silence in something as important as the information that we have is not okay. Right? It's not okay. It's a responsibility for you to share this information. I None of you knew there was a test that could predict the future of your health or how fast you're aging. None of us knew that there was a test that could show us this important ratio. Now that we know, but so that's the difference, is that I always love to be cause driven. And I feel like instead of, that's what's going to be the difference for you guys. Your own self belief that you belong here, that you can make a difference, that you, whether it's one person or 10, let's hope it's 25. Let's all get to 18 teams. So let's make sure that it's at least 25 people that that you have done this with. But I joke, it's going to build the confidence that you think that you're lacking, is just have a trail of evidence that you do the work, that so that when you walk into black belt rooms, that you know that you belong there. So that's my Saturday morning thoughts with you today. We're excited that Bedrock has been asked to and by the way, when I have to say this over and over, I know that, how many of you know that you're Bedrock? How many of you believe that you're Bedrock? Right? Like I love that when they say Bedrock leadership, whatever, because like Bedrock was formed for you. Bedrock is us because of you. But I just know that we need more of them, right? When I talk about this responsibility, we can, and I will say it till I die, we can change the world. We have to believe it. We have to. There's no other choices. We can change the world. We just can't do it alone, right? You just can't do it alone. But we need more of us, right? The army is that we have going on in this crusade of an anti-inflammatory revolution that we are a part of. We just need to do more of it and build that army. And I know that you guys can, and you can do your part. I'll end it on this. We overestimate, and I mean we as collectively as humans, we overestimate how much we think we need to do to make a difference. And we grossly underestimate how much we can make a difference collectively, right? We grossly underestimate the power that we bring collectively with just bringing one, two. It's not, this idea that I have to do this all myself, or no, it's hurting all of us. So do your part. It's like the small little bits. But I also know that my invitation to you is, if you don't clearly know, like when I said, hey, share why you're here, what you're excited about, what you want, what you think Zinzino can do for you. If that's not even clear in your own mind and you're muffled with that, literally that's your work, because clarity is an absolute gift. It affects your confidence. It affects your speed. It affects direction. So get clear on the things that you would share from your heart. Because one thing I know for sure is people never tire of things that come from the heart when people speak. Never. So that's my time with you. I'm going to pass it over to Chas.
Well, thank you. I've heard it for years. Sometimes you need the meeting and sometimes the meeting needs you. And I don't know about you guys, but I needed that. I think that it's very important, as what I call all of you high performers, to have somebody that speaks into our life. I was sharing, it was probably Vanita's, one of the girls this past week, and I said, high performers don't get checked on much. High performers, nobody's calling them because they think they've got it all together. And so I love that she was able to speak into our lives and really talk about the things that matter. And again, an invitation, a post, talking to someone randomly, it is not going to be effective if you lack the confidence. And like she said, you don't have to have the evidence. Y'all know that I have struggled a little bit because my background isn't in human science, it's computer science. And so, I pulled out some plastic fish and some, plastic little, a fire extinguisher, because that was the way I understood at a small level. You've got to do what you can do with what you have. I wanted to share this real quick because it goes perfectly aligned. I started reading this book, and it's called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. It's Shad Helmstetter. Helmstetter, PhD. And one of our partners, Tammy, she mentioned it to me the other day, and I'm like, okay, that's all I need is another audio. But I listened to the front end of it, and it talked about how when we are children, when we are teens, there's things that have been spoken over our life. There's things that are spoken into our lives that do cause that self-doubt and that self-belief. I have grand giggles. Some of y'all have little grand giggles, and my mind's learning the word no. And so when I say no, she's learning that means stop. And I believe that we've learned the word no from the time that we were infants, when we were small. And so when someone says no to our opportunity, says someone says no to our invitation for, a Tuesday night, no to, we immediately have stopped. And so I think there's a lot to retraining that brain into saying, it just means not right now, and not taking it personally and not being attached to the income, the outcome, with the income and the outcome. Like when Ariana says, it's our responsibility. When you feel like it's a responsibility to share this with people, everything shifts because it's not an attachment to the income, an attachment to the hype or the rank or the title. I find it very reassuring here. I'm getting excited. How many of y'all are getting excited for Houston? And I'll be honest, I'm going with an expectancy. I've been to a few of the Zinzino events, but I haven't been to one of their national events. And I remember my previous company, it was hype, it was all the things, it was lights, camera, action. And I've been sharing, I know two of our girls that are traveling from out of state. I said, y'all are going to love it because I know for sure it's going to be full of science. I know it's going to be full of the information that you love. It's not going to be about hype. I'll be surprised if they even have two banners up. Like we have more on our Saturday events than they do because that's not what it's about. So I loved what Ariana said. I needed that. If anybody else did, I wrote down, you don't need to be more than you are. You just need to be all that you are. And that really spoke. I don't know about you guys, but the last year and year and a half, it's been a lot. We've been working and not just in this industry. We've been doing the graphics, the designing, the work in the background, the promotions, the calls, all of the things. And so you get to a point where you're like, I don't even know how to sit back and relax. And I want to encourage you that this industry is very different than when I started over a decade ago. People are more skeptical. People have shorter attention spans. Our algorithms are louder than they have ever been. The keeping up with the algorithms is louder than they've ever been. And the old school, what I used to be able to post, guys, I remember back in the day, I could say post my product and I get 79,000 messages. I'm being dramatic, but kinda, people were ready. They would say yes. And I've always, if you've been in the industry anytime, you've heard people need to know, like, and trust. I believe now in 2026, it's a know, like, trust, and respect because they've watched us for a long time. They've watched how we've promoted different products. They've watched what we have done with our finances. They've watched what we've done with our leadership. And so I want you to remember that value still wins. Authenticity still wins in this space. What you know about your product and what you have, that's all they want to know. If you need to plug somebody in and they need more science, look at the people that are partnering with us, like Shannon. I don't know if you guys have seen her little flyer. She's doing a little call, and I already asked her, I said, can I share this with everybody? Because she has the knowledge, she has the confidence, she is that evidence that we need. So I hope that you will take the time to really get connected to the calls, to the things that help you. Ariana says it all the time. Stay close to the fire. Stay close to the things that are exciting. Guys, there are so many calls. There are so many opportunities. But my gym has so many different classes that I can take part in, I can participate in. But it does my body no good to try to do 10 classes in one day. It does my body so much better if I say, you know what? I can go on a Wednesday and I can go on a Friday. And I go on a Wednesday and a Friday for month after month after month. It's the consistency. There's no way you're going to be able to go back, and we record all of these calls. We record all of these nuggets. But you're not going, if you are doing anything outside of just being a Zinzino brand partner, if you're being a mom, if you've got, a kid going in, playing volleyball and going for the championship, if you're a abuela, whatever you do not have time to sit and listen to call after call after call. We get into the education and consumption paralysis and we do nothing. You just need to invite people, invite them to the presentations, invite them personally. We talk about this, how When I have something, we've got the Bloom in June that's coming up. And guys, I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. Shout out to Sasha because I've been stealing some of her ideas and how she's doing her wellness things. And I'm watching you guys. Guys, believe me, I'm watching because I'm staying in the seat of learning. But people do not just see our stuff. There's over 5 billion people on social media worldwide right now. And let me tell you this, they're being exposed anywhere from 4,000 to 10,000 ads a day. So if you think their little bit of time in the carpool line or right before they do something that they're automatically going to see your stuff, unless you're their only friend, you're the only person they follow, they are not going to see your stuff. You have to go to them. So for example, we have this Bloom in June happening. We have incredible following. We have people that see our stuff, but you know what has made the biggest impact? When we get into somebody's messenger and say, you know what? We have this thing going on and we would love to be there. It matters. It gives them that accountability. So set your time, your intentional time. AI, I'll tell you, I call it artificial intelligence and I can't own that. I stole that from our fearless founder, Orion. He used it at something we were out and at, and I was like, taking that. And I've been using it and I've been having these conversations. So if you don't feel confident in front of a screen, if you don't feel like, hey, I don't feel like I look my best, I dropped a document full of scripts into our Bedrock page that you literally could take the images that I have, the screen, the promos, the campaigns that I've been doing, and you could literally put your face in there. The script is there word for word. When you don't know what to say, just Vanita says it all the time. She's like, I'm copying, yeah, the best copycat wins. I'm like, girl, just make sure you're copying the right cat. Find it, make it your own. Michelle had a post about a month ago, and I was like, Michelle, I'm using this post. I don't know when, but I'm using it. Are you okay with it? She's like, girl, go. I didn't take exactly what Michelle had. I took it. I made it sound like me. I made it my own, and I haven't even used it yet. So I have a reservoir of things that on those days, guys, when you don't know how to show up, you don't know what to say, you have content, you have just a wealth of information. I'm going to tell you one of the things that I think that we have to understand is we're not just competing with other people in the social space. We're not just competing with the peptide companies. We are competing for people's attention. We are competing for people's trust. We are competing for their emotional energy, their time, their belief. And this is what I want you to understand. This is where that know, like, trust, and respect. Who are you when you show up in person on social media? Do you show up with that confidence? Do you show up and know that, why you are here? I love that. And you know what? I think that this is a good task challenge, and it would be good if someone wants to start us a little feed in our Bedrock page that why are you here? I would love to know that. I would love to see that. I think it would be good for us to create a little thing. Why are you here? Relationships matter more than anything right now. Authenticity matters more than anything right now. Now, I know there's a lot of, like I said, controversy with AI, but I'm going to tell you it's available intelligence that when I don't want to show up, when I don't want to look cute, when I don't want to, that I can still stay consistent. Storytelling matters. Friends, the stories still matter. I haven't seen, and myself included, I haven't seen many of us doing interviews with one another. There's another challenge that we could do. We could go live. We could interview one another. Stories matter. These are our own truths. And then consistency matters most. Now, what is your consistency? Consistency. If your consistency is once a week, if it's every 2 weeks, but consistency matters. People are watching, they're seeing you. And here's the thing. They may not reach out to you right now, today, get the sale. It may not help you to rank up in May for your ECBX. But what it is that when something happens, when there's not enough money at the end of the month, and when there's, a situation with their health, they're going to think of you as not the hype person, but the information person, the education person, the person that's given them value on things that they may not have realized they needed, but a day will come. How many of you know a day will come and they'll say, you know what? I need that. And I've been seeing Sue, she posts a lot about this thing. Well, that's not something my doctors are testing. So let me find out what she has. So people want somebody that's real. They want somebody they can trust. They want somebody who listens, and they want somebody who makes them feel seen. It is still very relevant as much as social media has changed, as much as our algorithm, Barry's in our waiting room, as much as it has changed, people still want to be edified, they want to be entertained, and they want to be educated. What do you bring to the table? Vanita was sharing with us the other day. She said something popped up in her recommendations, and it says, when you do dances, you get a lot of engagement. And she's like, I don't know who you're watching because I ain't doing any dances. And I told her, I said, I know, girl, because when we drop it like it's hot, it ain't pretty, you know? So, but she shows up with her videos. She shows up with her things. All of you, the people that show up, I asked Miss Darlene, I said, there's some changes that some people may have not noticed in the back office and things. Can you please share that? So when you see someone that is on your social spaces and they edified you, they loved on you, and they encouraged you, whether that's from a post, whether that's from a reel, a cat reel, or whatever it is, and you laughed, don't just hit like, don't just scroll by it. Let them know. Let them know, hey, you know what? Tekla, something you shared made me laugh today. Something you shared, Barry, today really opened my eyes. That's the kind of communication and real, authentic relationships that we need to have with people that matter. So that when we do get into their messenger and we say, you know what? I have a really special event happening this Tuesday night. It's going to be with one of our global presidents that has 36 years in the industry. And man, I want to pack this call out. Would you mind just getting on for me? Would you mind doing me a favor? I have no problem asking people for a favor because I'm a favor girl. One, I am highly favored, but two, I love to do favors for people. I love to help them out. And when they have the know, like, trust, and respect, they're more likely to say, sure, I'd love to get on. Guys, you guys on Tuesday night, we packed the call out. We had over 56, 60 people on there. We're running a smaller number on our Tuesday night calls. There's no reason that we can't put Tuesday night 50 people on a call every single Tuesday. It's intention. We were intentional. We were intentional with our invitation. We were intentional with the ask. And I'm telling you, we got on the call after that with Artie and we said, man, our messages were blowing up because it was people that might not typically have gotten on our Tuesday night, but we said, hey, would you mind doing us a favor? We really want to pack this call out. And what did you do? You showed up. So I just want you to remember, one, that you are worthy, you are capable. I want us to shift really thinking we have to know it all to really walking in that evidence. This is what we have, that evidence-based nutrition. Guys, salesmen can lie to you. Salespeople can lie, but what? Their blood doesn't lie. You have something that people aren't doing in our space, guys. Yes, they're pricking and poking, and guess what? Their pages are getting shut down. Things are happening where social media is, we are in a space where we protect our checks, we stay compliant, and we share because we have a responsibility. So thank y'all. I'm going to pass it over to you, B, and let you go from there.
Well, thank you very much, ladies. That was some highly inspirational content this morning for all of us. Guys, it's funny because as they're saying this, I'm thinking, man, that's exactly how I feel, which is so relatable. That's the biggest thing is, you can speak. It'd be one thing for Ariana to be a fancy talker like she is, but her words have such meaning that it goes beyond just the average talker, right? You can you can admire somebody for their ability to speak, but when their words actually make sense, and they can speak, it's more powerful. So I'm very grateful. And Chastity has this really nice way of always breaking things down and making it so inclusional. So even if you didn't feel that message was going towards you, Chastity makes it feel like it was. And I think that's her heart always coming through. And I know I'm not suffering in the confidence department. That's not my problem. My problem is that I get discouraged when you suffer from confidence problems. That's the hard part. The problem is when the coach thinks the coach cares more about your success than you do. That's the frustrating part of leadership. And it really is. It torments me. It because I am Ricky Bobby. I think second place is no good. That's how I operate. I like to be first. I like to win. I like to be all in. I like to be, alpha male. That's who I am. And I don't run away from that. And I think you guys need to find who your identity is too. And what identity do you want to become, more importantly? Like if you're not that, who do you see yourself as? It doesn't have to be Ariana or Chastity or anybody. It could be Corey and Delora from, the Monday Night Master customer grabber calls. It could be Pamela, who is running our power hours every week. So guys, it doesn't matter who you relate to. It just matters that you take steps to get to the self that you want to become. And that's what I took home from today is like, I still have work to do. And that's the funny part of it. You go through all these things and all these great words, and we each should be finding a way to relate what was conveyed to us in message today. More importantly, how do we put it into practice? Now, these calls aren't just to say things. You might recall about 3 weeks ago, I said I was going to get better at social media engagement, and I've made a big effort towards that this month. Some of you may have been seeing my posts, and it's been through a lot of guidance of all of you because I'm not confident in that area. So what did I do? I didn't surround myself with just one accountability partner. I got Win in my inbox. I got several of you commenting and saying, Barry, hey, if you looked at this, if you did this, and I am so grateful for that because I am actually trying to get better at it. It's not like critical feedback is only critical if it's said in a way that makes you feel less, right? That's not the feedback we're looking for. We're looking for feedback that makes us feel empowered to be able to accomplish what we're looking to do. And I hope you guys took that from these two women today because they are the masters at empowering women. And I see, other than you and I, Dennis, we're surrounded by estrogen this morning. So, bro, we're just going to take this all the way to the ride and run it. And I just think I'm so grateful that, one of the things I appreciate about having on this Saturday, a dominant feminine energy is that it taps me into a little bit more of my empath side, my nurturing side, the side of thinking about how I should be delivering messages to people, because the message being delivered isn't for me, it's for you. The message that we deliver is always for you. And I just think it's so enlightening to see and watch. Today, I get to really sit back and watch all of your faces as the content was being delivered. And that's how I know it's so meaningful, because I could just read your faces and understand that you felt that you connected to things today. So congratulations for showing up this morning. We're really excited. We're going to let you go in about a minute here because we want to become fully prepared for the next one. When you get put on these calls, as much as we feel confident that we can deliver a great message today, we still want to be prepared, because there's a quote I go by, and it's chance favors the prepared mind. And I know that if we're prepared, we'll deliver. I know that. So we want to take the time to prepare, just like we did before we got on this call this morning. We're on 15 minutes early. We're preparing. We're making sure our messages are concise. And I hope that some of these things that were brought to you today, I hope you took good notes. I sure did. I try to write Ariana's quotes down, but I don't write as fast as she talks. So it's okay. I'm learning. But guys, start to put these things into practice. If you do, I know you will see results. And I can almost feel like we're at the 4-month point. People's secondary results are starting to convert. That should bring another level of confidence to you. And if you don't have yours in yet, borrow somebody else's. I know most of you are great at this. You're borrowing somebody else's result. Go ahead. Make sure they give you permission. Most don't care. With that being said, we'll see you guys in about 15 minutes on our exciting call. I think I've
Barry,
woken up now.
Barry,
Yes.
Can I add real quick? If you are coming to Houston or know someone's coming to Houston and they are not in our Houston thread, guys, please get them added. We're getting some information and getting some little goodies together, so we don't want anybody to miss out. And we don't want to have FOMO, but we want everybody to be included. So as we make plans and final numbers, please make sure everyone is in the Houston chat.
Yes. So guys, don't linger around. Please exit this so us we can talk. So don't hang around here waiting and talking and jamming. We gotta sort some stuff out. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful
Thank you.
Saturday. We'll see you in 15 minutes.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you
Thanks,
all. Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Oops.
Rock the next one.
Bye,
Thanks,
Thank
Tekla.
Tekla.
you.
Love you. I love seeing your face.
Yes.
Hey, Ariana, I did message. I wanted to let you know I messaged Dr. Marlisa and I just asked her, I said, hey, am I going to get to squeeze you in Houston? She said no. But anyway, she said, but I want to get together really soon. So I'm having my bloom in June. And I told her, I said, if you're better by then, pack a bag. I've got your own private suite room that you can stay in. Come here, let me love on you. I said, I need a good woman time. And so she sent me hearts and things like that. So anyway, okay, look at me, y'all. This is me. This is me. Look
Oh
at
my
my people.
God.
My people.
What even is, oh, that's okay. I was like,
Is
are
that
those your notes?
what is that? A flow chart of today's presentation?
It's our presentation, and I've gotten it down to not a bunch of slides. I mean, not a bunch of printouts. And then there's my partners right there.
Oh, look at
Oh my gosh, you're
this. Oh
amazing.
my goodness.
Well, because Barry, your bio that I had was from our health and wellness. I'm glad I shaved my armpits. I'm putting all that up there. My health and wellness thing, and it was longer. And so I'm like, I want to have a good bio. I liked the one that was on underneath this one. So I'm like, okay, this is perfect. So now it's going there. But y'all, even funnier, I have to tell y'all, this is how proud I am of y'all. This is my planner that goes, this is like my CHAS Bible. But watch, I'm just gonna show y'all
It
this.
looks like my medical chart.
Look,
What? Wait, my picture's in the way. What
Well,
is it?
there's
it's y'all.
Oh my gosh, I'm in your
So
she's
when
got a
people,
scrapbook. I
scrapbook
made
of
the
us.
when I'm talking to people about us, and I'm like our team, and I'm like, okay, make sure I say all the right things.
Oh
But
God, we're so
I love
sweet.
to have our little thing. Okay, all right, let's get to business. All
Business.
right, so I want to share real quick
Yeah, share your screen so we can see any changes,
yes, because I did make a little change. I know y'all appreciate
and
my
then
change.
we can pass the slides exactly like we decided right now.
Okay, all right, here we go. All right, so. All right, that one is the same. What I thought, Ariana, if you're okay with it, I'll welcome everybody here. This kind of has been seeming awkward about like going from here. So I just did this so I could say a little bit about we're going to talk about the future and hope, belief, blah blah blah. I took
Yeah,
that
I want you to do that slide because
yep, yep,
that's the expectation slide for the. It's
yes,
a great
yes.
slide for you to say this is what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, and then I added the future personalized health right there, so that doesn't need to be a whole nother slide. Okay.
Okay.
And then here's our new little the hidden
Ooh,
foods.
look at that clean
Oh, that
slide.
looks so much better.
Yep, thank you, Vanita K. Yes,
Yeah.
I love this. Looks good. This is the same. This is the same. Same. And then I added these so that we could have new people
Perfect.
on
Yeah.
here. I didn't know if Todd was going to be on, but I'm going to say, 2 seconds. Wynn's going to say why it matters to her. And then Sue's just going to share. She's a nurse, and it's not going to take long. They have just tiny times. Is Todd expecting to share?
No, I didn't plan on Todd. I thought we
Okay.
were going to keep it exactly like we had it last Saturday so we could keep it to 30 minutes like Artie said.
Yep. Well, this right here will take the place, all this will take the place of, we don't have that next slide. So then it'll go here. So y'all can just say, Chas, you can have me right here say, and I will handle this in under 2 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
there. And then Barry, I'll pass it back to you or whoever. We have
So
this.
let's go through who's doing what slides so we can be decided. So like Ariana, where do you want to jump in? Do you want to do the beginning like you did last week, or how do you
Yeah, I
want to do
think
it?
we're in a flow. I'm happy to do that part. Um,
So
I'll do
Ariana
this.
is going to get
Yeah,
passed through right here, right?
yeah, yeah. This slide, the next slide.
Okay, and y'all don't have to say next slide. If you just pause, I'll
Okay.
know next slide. Okay.
Okay. I took it over from there. Do you want that one or do you want to keep it this way? I took this slide last time. You gave it to me here, Ariana.
Yeah, it's because I think I feel like I was going too long. Because I'd done it's because I'd done the hope slide, the future of personalized future slide,
No, but
then the two
I
slides in
think
a
this
row.
kind of yeah, I think this one kind of goes with the
Yeah,
stuff.
so I think I'll take the slide because it goes with the two other things that I'm talking about.
Okay.
But then yeah, and then you come in on this business on the here.
Pass
Yeah,
it to me there. Go to the
yeah,
next one. I'll do this one.
yeah,
I'll do this one.
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
pass it back to Chas for
yeah.
testimonials.
Then you did this one. It was
And
I'll
great.
then
do this
I'll
one.
say, and Barry, just tell us how easy the customer experience is. Boom, there.
Perfect.
Okay. This one, get tested today. Get with a partner that invited you. That's where we're releasing everybody.
Yeah, and I think it's important because 99,000% of the people that are going to be on there are going to be partners. And just, I think we just say here, this is where in our presentation, we give everybody the opportunity, if they're not, something that almost like because today's a training, right? Too?
But normally Artie hops in right here. What do you
Yeah,
got?
I don't think he needs to hop in yet. We need to finish our thing. So,
Okay.
and then here, the business.
I just love, and I'd love to coach everyone on it. There's something like they came from an old school mentality. I can tell that when you get people at a presentation, especially when it's a physical one in a building, you lock the doors and they're yours till you say they can go. That's not the world we live in now, especially on online things. And so even if 90% of the people on the call today are partners, I want them to see how we flow with it and just be our authentic selves. And that's all that we say there is for those of you who came that wanted to know
Yes.
what your friends were excited about, you wanted to learn about the test and what we're up to now, but just so that the next few minutes, the next few slides, we're going to talk about business. We're going to talk about opportunity. We're going to talk about needing an army to help us share. If that's not you, we're just going to give you a hot 30 seconds to thank you for your time and give you, you get to leave.
I think really my hope in this is that there's going to be a lot of people that see this format and really message Artie and go, man, we really liked that format. So again, so
Back up a couple slides because after that, can you go back one more?
Yeah, this
Right
is a,
there.
yeah.
So I'm still going here. Go to the next one. Or are you going here,
No,
Ariana?
you can get because you just finished. So you're going to say, this is our part now where we have a bit of a pause because we're about to pivot. We're
Yeah.
about to
Okay.
pivot
So
from a
I'm keeping this
customer.
one.
We're about to pivot from a health and wellness discussion to a business and opportunity discussion.
I get that. I just want to make sure I'm saying it. Okay. Go to
Yeah,
the next
you say it. You say it.
company and opportunity, why the timing is right now. Boom. And then I pass it to you here, right? Last time I passed it to you here. Do you want me to keep it for a bit
you
or
go, I think you go, Barry.
No,
go to the next one?
he did pass it to me, but I love how you talk about kind of being a public traded company. We're just trying to keep it super tight. Like give just the highlight
Okay.
nuggets.
I'll
Yeah.
go this one then. And I wanted to see where my stop point is. Okay. Do you want this one, Ariana? Do you want me to hand it back to you here?
Yeah, I'll take it. That's a great stop. That's a great stop point for me.
Okay. So I'm going to bring you in there and then you're going to go through this stuff.
Okay, but
And
wait,
then,
Okay.
I'm only gonna do that opportunity one about inflammation and then this one because I've thought about this one a lot. So I'll do that one. Yeah. And then this one. Yeah. And then Barry.
okay. And go. I'll do that one. Let's talk equinox, then I'll introduce Artie.
Well, okay, hold on. This is where I was asking, do we want to introduce him here or do we want to go through because he said to us, y'all didn't go through this. I want him to see that we
He's,
do go
We
through
do go
this.
through it.
he said he's going to do all this stuff.
He did say that he was going to do fast start and compensation.
Yeah. He said he was going to go through compensation and fast start and all this
Fast
stuff and
start.
leave
Yeah.
it to him.
So we'll let
He
him.
said, just do the part you did last week and stop.
Okay,
So
hold on.
right there, we introduce Artie.
Well,
Okay.
back one here. Like, because it's so great for us to say, let's talk income and options, and because we're his guest today, now at that slide we'll say we're going to talk income and options, and as you guys know, we're just a guest in the building today, so we're going to hand this back to the man Artie to talk about these things that he's passionate about and seasoned in. Like, that's just a great. You can hand it off, Barry, to him at that income and options one.
Yeah. Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Perfect.
And so then is he going to interject his own slides, or is he going to
Yes, he's gonna share his own slides. So we're gonna get on early with him right now. We should jump on right now with him.
Yeah, because he's going to make you a co-host, Chassis, so you can share our slides, but then he's going to take over his own slides.
Let's bounce. We got 5 minutes to get to him now.
Okay, bye.
Bye.